Hello, friends, and welcome to the fifth episode of At Home with Iris. We are in 2026, y'all. Tell me why the last year went by so slow, but actually so fast, too. I feel like I went through so much change physically, mentally, emotionally, soulfully. It just makes me super excited for what's to come for this upcoming year. This episode is going to be about how, even though at times it may not feel like you're making progress towards things, you really are, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. I'm realizing that it's been about a year since I've graduated from college, and my life has changed so drastically since then, honestly. I feel like it's been ages since I've seen my friends, though, and that is one thing that I don't think I will survive if I don't get a chance to go and see them again soon. It's just been too long, y'all. Too long. But either way, I hope all of your holidays and your New Year's Eve went by really smoothly. If you all are watching on YouTube and you notice that I am sitting in a chair now when I usually don't, this is my old freshman chair. I call it. I bought it when I was a freshman in college and I've had it since. Every single time I laid in this chair, I would fall asleep instantly. I put it away for a little bit, but I thought, why not bring it back? A little backstory on how I got the idea for this podcast of not feeling exactly where you wanted to be, but also knowing that you're on the way still is because I was looking through some of my old journals and I saw my 2025 goals that I wrote for myself. Although I did accomplish some of them, there were actually a decent amount of goals that I had yet to accomplish, but I had made some pretty good progress in at least. One of those examples was to run a 5K. I have never run a race. My family, we're a pretty athletic family, but we never really just go for runs. And that was something that I really wanted to try and get better at, especially because for me, my endurance is really bad, or at least it could be better. Even though I didn't actually run any race this past year, I made progress and started running with one of my friends. She helped me run for 15 minutes straight, and that was, I'm pretty sure, my first time doing that in a long time. Finding that pace was so hard for me because I was a runner who just liked to feel like I was running fast, but then I would burn out so easily. Then there's really no point in running long distances. So this year I learned how to pace myself, and I think that's the first step towards successfully running a race. Even though I didn't get to check it off my list at all, I feel a lot more confident going into this upcoming year. I promise. This was a promise I'm keeping to myself. I'm gonna sign up for not a 5K, but a 10K. And so, taking that into perspective, I'm sure a lot of you have had goals that you started out with this upcoming year, but circumstances might have changed. Or sometimes they also just end up being a bigger idea than the time and effort that you ended up putting into it. And that's totally okay. That's why I really appreciate this time of year because it gives us an opportunity to really reflect on what happened and adjusting our goals to better fit where we are now and what we will be capable of. I want this to be the year for us where we take our setbacks and we do not let it bring us down. Something that I always say is to trust the universe that it will guide you to what is meant for you. You will get where you need to be, where you are meant to be in time. It might not be your timeline, but it will happen for you when it's supposed to. Thinking about that helps relieve some of that anxiety and pressure to perform and get all these accomplishments and goals done by the end of the year. Because if they don't happen, it's more a redirection than a failure. As time goes on, too, you're not staying stagnant at all. You're constantly going through new experiencing, strengthening your skills, strengthening your mindset, building that character so that you are ready for when the opportunities come towards you. All I can say is trust in your journey and know that there is a purpose for the things that you are going through right now. I will say that it definitely is easy to compare yourself and your life to others on social media or to your coworkers, your peers. Do not discredit yourself for all that you have accomplished already, persevered through, endured, this entire year just because your life doesn't look like someone else's. Another thing that I say is that comparison is the root of all evil. It just makes all those gremlins that live in your brain that cause anxiety and want to nitpick at every little thing that's going on double, really. And we don't want that, right? So if you find yourself comparing your life to someone else's, take it as a wake up call and ask yourself, what is it about this that is making me feel less worthy about myself? Once you come to terms with that, then I take it as, oh, this is a sign that this person has something that I want. Or this is a sign of what's possible if I put myself out there and really try to reach for it. Another thing that I learned helps get rid of those negative thoughts is doing an activity that helps clear your head a bit. If in 2025 you didn't find a hobby or a really close, trusting friend or something that you feel you can use as an outlet, I want you to make that a goal for this upcoming year because it truly can help transform and change your perspective of yourself, your life, and that is going to show your ability to accomplish goals and even experience things you never would have thought before. Any activity that doesn't serve a good purpose in your life, you can cut that out too. One thing I want to do this year is forget that I have a phone. Okay? Making an effort to talk and have conversation with people, I found is something that allows me to learn from other people and just not be in my head so much. So I'm right there with you. It's a work in progress. All it takes is some patience and effort. Towards the end of this past December, actually, I was feeling so unmotivated to come up with any new goals for this upcoming year. I eventually got out of that funk, thankfully. And let me tell you something that I learned to do that helped me get past some of the toughest times I had this year. And it was simply romanticizing the little things in life and finding pleasure in the present moments in life. To give a personal example, at the beginning of this year, I was still healing from a breakup that I had gone through about 2 years ago now, guys. And it was treacherous. To anyone going through a breakup right now, my heart goes out to you. It's truly such a hard time. And there are so many days where it just feels impossible to be joyful or happy. But when I could, I would try to savor those small moments that were strictly for me, with me, and myself only. I find so much pleasure putting on makeup in the morning and feeling pretty before I step out. I made sure to do that every single day, and it's okay if I would cry it off later on. It didn't matter because it brought me peace. Listening to your favorite songs, going on walks, doing things that help you appreciate life and where you are in the present moment really helped ground me into understanding that there is more to life outside of it. Sometimes taking a step back and just looking at things objectively really helped put into perspective how lucky I actually was. Because, for a little inspiration, given this life, we have the beautiful outdoors, air to breathe in deeply, and when I do this, I love to pick apart all of the different smells that I can smell. Most of the time, I try to search for the grass or any greenery, flowers, pine trees, and whatever else brings you pleasure in life. For me, it was anything pink and with a bow on it. Okay. May I remind you too, as a healthcare girly, y'all need to know how hard your bodies work to keep you alive, to simply keep you breathing, thinking correctly, walking, jogging, sitting here as you listen to this video. Your body is a fortress, and there are so many mechanics going on. Your brain, your heart, your lungs, they're all working constantly. Even though externally you might feel like things aren't in balance, just know that your body is doing everything it can to maintain that homeostasis internally. Because ain't nobody fighting harder for yourself than your own body. I definitely felt like a middle school teacher trying to convince you that science is cool by doing that. But we're gonna move on now. My point is that if you enjoy and love your life will love you right back. If you don't feel that way about your life right now, you have time to make the adjustments necessary and start working towards that person that you envision yourself to be. It's never too late, and I think there's always a way. Are we getting inspired yet, people? I was recently listening to a podcast called A Better You by Fernanda Ramirez, and it's one of the first podcasts that I discovered earlier this year. Her voice is just so soothing, it's so reassuring, and I love how relatable she is. In one of her recent episodes, she talks about how her word for the past 2025 was embodiment. Embodiment? Embodiment? And that really stuck with me. She said, "It's who you practice being, not what you say you want to be." A lot of you know that this past year was called the Year of the Snake in terms of Chinese horoscopes, and that's more so about shedding that skin, learning to reform yourself, working through the things that you have to. And then now, this upcoming year is the Year of the Horse, specifically the fire horse. That is about coming into your true form, gaining success in the things that you desire. And that's something that relates to the word of embodiment. If you're like me and you had to relearn a lot of things, shift some priorities around, that's a lot to handle in 1 year. And also, having hard conversations with yourself creates this sort of breakthrough and clarity of how your old habits might have held you. Breaking through those old habits and creating more productive ones builds resilience and confidence. If you have a goal and it doesn't make you uncomfortable, then your goal isn't big enough. When you truly put into practice of abandoning those weaknesses and those distractions from your life, you can truly embody that person that you're meant to be, that you're striving to be. Think about what you want to embody, whether that be creativity, productivity, discipline, or something simple like love, inner peace. What kind of energy do you want to exude this upcoming year? And really manifesting, focusing your energy on that. Last thing that I want to say about this transition from the previous year into the new one is a reminder to trust the process, but do not lose sight of this plan, okay? You've written out your goals. I see people making cute bingo boards out of them, punch cards, journaling it, anything you can do to keep you accountable. This is your year and you need to claim it. Checking in with yourself regularly throughout the year, adjusting plans as they go, and moving intentionally, it's going to strengthen and really help you embody the type of person that has already accomplished your goals that you have. Overall, you're not going to be able to please everyone. This is coming from a Hmong thought daughter, and by thought I mean THOUGHT daughter, who was constantly always doing things to please other people or doing things to make things easier for other people. Your goals should be about you and how it will add to your own life. You already have to keep so many other things in mind. So create those goals and save them just for you. Okay, y'all, do we feel inspired for this upcoming year yet? Do we know that even if we're not going through the greatest time right now, it's what we need in the moment? Do we know that when we do have great times, we need to appreciate them? I hope that's the message that you got out of this episode. And when you feel really low in the dumps, like nothing is possible, take that time to sit with yourself, let yourself feel those emotions, and you'll pick yourself right back up. That's how you get stronger. That's how you learn more about yourself, and there's nothing greater than the journey about learning how to take care of yourself, honestly. Don't let yourself falter, that your capacity is way greater than you think. And we are going to get into our affirmations now. So, I've got a few. I release old habits that don't serve me, and I'm ready to step into my highest self. I am becoming everything that I was always meant to be. That's kind of a lot, so let's break it down. Let's do I release old habits that don't serve me. 3 more times. I release old habits that don't serve me. I release old habits that don't serve me. I release old habits that don't serve me. The next one, I'm ready to step into my highest self. I'm ready to step into my highest self. I'm ready to step into my highest self. And then the last one is I am becoming everything I was always meant to be. I am becoming everything I was always meant to be. I am becoming everything I was always meant to be. Thank you for listening. I know that this year is going to be great for us. It's only going to make us a better person. I trust you, I love you, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, okay? Thanks for listening. Bye. Love you.